What's up, creepers and geekers? Chris, the Atari Creep. Welcome to the Creeps Playthings. I'm going to do a fourth segment on this channel where I discuss toys that I own and give you my thoughts on maybe a pseudo review, if you will. What we have here in front of you is the Disney exclusive Elite Series Rouge One Death Trooper. This came out last year. It retails for about $30. I don't know what my girlfriend paid for it. I got it for Christmas of last year. And as you can see, I haven't even opened it yet. The box has gone a little to seed, from being on the shelf and being crammed in with a few other things. I tend not to open things like this too often, only because, one, something psychologically tells me, leave it in the box. I mean, not on a collecting standpoint, but on the package looks nice kind of deal. But I also have this desire to put it in my hands, pose it, put it up on the shelf, hear the creaking of the joints and feel it and all that. So I'm constantly fighting this battle back and forth. And then lastly, of course, another reason why I try not to open up stuff, especially like this, it's such a nice looking figure, but the problem is it's shiny and clean. And my opinion is that the Star Wars universe is always dirty and grungy, and I'll want to paint the thing, so I'll have to fight that urge too. But I figured, you know what, I'm going to start this fourth segment on my channel discussing toys, things that I have, things that I find out and about. And I thought it'd be nice to start with this, and I break one of my first rules and actually open a package. So let's look at the package itself. It's, a nice gray. It's got kind of a brushed steel look to it. A nice blue band. I like how they separated the red band stuff from The Force Awakens and the blue band stuff of the Rouge One series stuff. Got a nice little description in the back of what it is, and while I'm opening it, I'll read that to you in a voiceover, so you're not bored just watching me undo twist ties, because it's my understanding there are a lot of twist ties inside of here. And overall, it's a nice looking package, nice looking figure. I think the price is right, about $30, and I'm sure you can get it cheaper than that too after the fact. Maybe not so much now a year later, but let's get this thing open and have a look at the figure itself. In collaboration with Lucasfilms, Disney Store is proud to introduce the Star Wars Elite Series, a premium line of toys featuring iconic characters from the expansive world of Star Wars. This exclusive collection is meticulously engineered and crafted with Star Wars fans in mind. The elite soldiers of the Imperial Intelligence, Death Troopers, are encased in a specialized Stormtrooper armor with a dark, ominous gleam. These soldiers serve as bodyguards and enforcers for Director Krennic, a highly placed officer within the Advanced Weapons Research Division of the Empire. So now that I fought with the case for about 6.5 hours, let's have an overall look at the figure itself. And the figure, its quality is just amazing. The sculpting is amazing. The attention to details are amazing. Good example is underneath the joints here. I know you can't really see it that well, but instead of like a ribbed plastic, they actually have like a cloth undersuit, like a jumpsuit underneath the armor. Just little things like that to just make this figure stand out. The articulation on this thing is second to none. You can pretty much articulate this guy in any position, in any way you can possibly imagine. I mean, even the toes are articulated, which leads me to believe that was meant for him to go into a kneeling position. Which brings us to my first and really only true gripe about this figure, is it has all this articulation, but it's impossible to get him in any position. I mean, I could barely get him to stand up. I had him standing on the table here before shooting this, and it didn't take long for him to topple over. And it took me about 4 or 5 minutes and trial and tribulations to get him in that position. I mean, that all said, I do have him here on my shelf standing in front of my Sega Model 1 setup. And I know you can barely see it because the lighting in here is gross, but I do have him standing, but it's only with the help of being leaned against the wall and the Sega CD. And, I've been jumping around and the kids run around, and he hasn't toppled over yet, so I guess I can't complain too much. He's just too damn top heavy, and all this crap on his upper torso just hinders any movement. As you saw, he had his rifle in his hand. I would have liked to have the other hand, his left hand, hold on to the gun right here. But again, because of all this stuff that's on his suit, I can only get it to hold the end of the barrel, which still looks good in pose, but it would have been nice to have been able to get his other hand here. And you see that the weapon itself actually fell out of his hand, so it's not really in there too well. And I did actually have to swap out the hands to get this to stay in because his other hands are too wide open. So that's basic review of the Disney's Elite Series Death Trooper figure from last year from Rouge One. What are your thoughts, guys? Do you have one of these? Do you tend to open these up like I do? Or do you keep them just for display in hopes that they're worth $2 billion later on and you can send your kids to college with it? So, guys, thanks as always for watching. Go ahead and leave feedback down below. Thumbs up, thumbs down. All feedback is always positive to me. Until next time, hope everyone's doing well. Take care.